When we talk about politics, there's inside baseball. There's inside baseball topics that only political pundits would be aware of. And then you've got like your bona fide serious crises that affect everyone, whether you pay attention to politics or not. One of these serious issues that impacts every single American is the collapsing confidence in the American president around the world. And it's important to understand that agreeing with the president on every issue is very different than simply having the confidence that the president is going to adhere to some basic minimum norm. So, for example, I disagreed with Barack Obama on some political issues. I disagreed about drone policy. I disagreed about his approach to the genesis of what ultimately became Obamacare, right? I disagreed with Barack Obama on different policy issues. But at no point did I worry that Barack Obama's behavior and norm breaking would cause a crisis of confidence around the world in the US presidency as an institution in our country. That's what's taking place right now with Donald Trump. And he seems to be trying to convince people of the opposite. And I have the numbers to show you. So with Donald Trump, very often the truth is the opposite of what he says. And in fact, this is a phenomenon known as projection. Trump is projecting onto others the truth about himself and his administration. So here's an example. Lately, Donald Trump has been insisting that the Democrats are a laughingstock and that the world is laughing at the U.S. because of the Democrats. Here's an example clip of Donald Trump saying this.
These people are clowns. The Democrats are clowns. They're being laughed at all over the world. And I watched this morning, Nancy Pelosi trying to get through that with the performance that Robert Mueller put on, where I don't think he ever read the agreement or the document. And the document said no collusion. They don't even talk about that. So there was no crime.
The truth just happens to be the opposite. And we have the numbers, and the numbers are really bad. Pew Research Center study data is from 2001 to 2018. There is a lot of data on the screen. But what you will see is that confidence in the United States president to do the right thing regarding foreign affairs has plummeted under Donald Trump in almost every country, with the exception of Russia. Russia, compared to Barack Obama and George W. Bush, Russia is the country that has increased their confidence that the United States president will do the right thing internationally under Donald Trump. Every other country on this list is experiencing a crisis of confidence in the American presidency. Canada is minus 61. France is minus 70. Germany and the Netherlands are minus 75. Sweden is minus 83 in their confidence that the American president will do the right thing. Japan, minus 54. You can see the way that this is going. I don't have to read every single one for you. And again, Russia, the one country on the list that has more confidence in the American presidency when Donald Trump is the president. So this actually matters whether you're into politics or not. This is a metric that relates to everything from economics to culture to simply maybe being an American that might travel to some of these countries. Russian confidence in the US president is up under Trump. Everywhere else, it is down. And any time that Donald Trump tries to pull our attention somewhere, in this case, it's the world is laughing at Democrats, you should immediately be suspicious that the truth is the opposite. And in this case, it just so happens to be. You only have to look to every single recent meeting of world leaders to see them putting this into action. We have a picture up on the screen now for our video audience. I forget which meeting or summit this is from, but increasingly, Donald Trump is, in a literal sense, not part of the conversation with world leaders. And in the more metaphorical sense, the United States is increasingly not a participant in many of the conversations that the world is having about serious issues when it comes to global alliances, when it comes to trade, when it comes to climate change, for sure. Donald Trump personally and the United States as a country, it's just not even invited to be part of the conversation. And it is this crisis of confidence that is underlying it and that is behind it. If you don't care how the U.S. does, then you don't need to worry about this. If you live in the United States, as roughly 70% of our audience does, you have a vested interest in how the United States does. It affects you. It affects your family. It affects how we are seen around the world. And this is not good. If you're not worried about this, I want to hear from you. Okay. If you are an American who lives in the United States currently, and you don't deny the numbers, right? I mean, if you just don't believe the numbers, okay, then you can bury your head in the sand, and people do that. If you believe the numbers and you live in the United States and you're not worried about the crisis of confidence that the presidency is suffering under Donald Trump, I want to hear from you. Genuinely, I want to hear your explanation as to why it's not something that worries you.